What about Maharaj?
How
are you? Good?
I'm okay, thank you.
Nice. Is it cold there?
It's getting cold, yeah.
Cold here now.
Yes.
Who else are we expecting to join?
Who else? Well, Ariananda Puru. There he is. Mike and Swazi. I don't know who that is.
From the YMCA?
From the YMCA?
Namaste.
Devo.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Ah, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Namaste.
Hare Krishna.
Namaste.
Krishna
Hare
Das.
Krishna.
Oh,
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, it is our first time.
Yeah. Haribo, Harinanda Ji.
Nandava Pranan Maharaj. Haribo.
Ananditya Ki Jai.
Jai.
Darshana and Priyatma Didis Ki Jai.
Jai.
Srila Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj ki jai.
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 All devotees ki jai. Kecha Prabhu ki. Happy to see you, Maharaj. Very happy.
Yeah.
And devotee. How are you?
Good, Prabhu. Going on, huh?
Very well.
So this month is the month of Kartik. Huh? Kartik month, Kartik Mas. Do you know what that is? Kartik, Swazi, do you know what Kartik means? Can you hear?
You're muted.
I
Yes,
think
Maharaj.
You're Swazi, you're muted.
your volume has to turn. Volume is turned out.
Sorry, yes, Kartika is like an auspicious time of the month. We're also celebrating Diwali for Ram.
Yeah, yeah. And yes, Kartik, a very auspicious time. Whatever spiritual activities you perform during Kartik is 3 times more powerful than any other time of the year. Because Kartik is the month of Radha. Actually, Radharani's mother, her name is Kartika.
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 Thank you.
That's the name of Radharani's mother. So Kartika is the representation of Radharani. And Radharani is the dearmost servitor of the Lord, Krishna. So whatever we do during Kartika, in remembrance of Radharani and Krishna, that will be very powerful. Today, we're going to chant Damodarastakam during the time of Kartik. It's called also Damodar-masa, the month of Damodar. Damodar is the name of Krishna when he was a baby. And you know the story when Mother Yashoda bound up Krishna on the grinding mortar because he was misbehaving. So this song was written in remembrance of Damodar, and we chant this every month to remember. In the month, we chant this during the month of Kartik every year to remember Damodar and honor him. So you put that on the screen? You have it?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Maybe put it louder.
Yes.
What I'll do is I'll chant it first, and then you can chant and repeating it if you like. After I chant it, then you can chant it, okay? Try to follow the melody. And Jai, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Acharya Dev, Srila Sant Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Kartik Bas ki Jai. Jai Damodara-masa ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Kiri Govardhan ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Go Premanandi Hari 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 Bol.
Hari Bol. Jai Om Sripad Paramahamsa Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj ki Jai.
So this is the Damodarastakam, written in honor of Damodar and Kartik Bas, Radharani. Namam Ishwaram Sat-cit-ananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yasodabiolukala Davamanam Paramristamatyantato Dutgopya
Namam
Ishvaram
Sat-cit-ananda
Sat-cit-ananda Lasat Kundalam Gokuli Brajamanam
Yasoda Bilukala
Davamanam Param Satyanta
Rudanta Muhurnetra Yugmam Rijantam Karambojo Yugmena Shatankanetram Muhu Swasakampatire Kankakanta Tita Graivam Damodaram Bhakti Badam
Rudantam Mahunitra Yogantam Karamboja Sakanetam Muhu
Iti Driksvalila Bir Ananda Kunde Ragosham Nimajantam Akyapayantam Tadi Esitageshu Bhaktyar Pitatpam Puna Prematastam Satavritti Vande
Sriyapya Ananda Kunda Adiyasita
Varam Deva Moksham Na Moksha Vadimva Na Chanjam Vineham Varisharapiha Idam Teva Purnata Gopala Balam Sadame Manas Yavirastam Kimanjai
Param Deva Moksham Moksha Vadimva Nachanyam Vineyam Vapranesya Dakiya Idam Deva Purnata Gopala Palam Shadame Manasya Rastam
Idam te mukkam bojam atyanta nilayar Vitam kuntalai snigdha raktaischa gopya Muhushchumbitam bimba raktadaram me Manasya virastam alam lakshalabhai
Idam te
Mukam Bojam Atyantanile Manasya Priprastam Malam Laksha Labhya
Namo Deva Dhammo Tarananta Vishno Prasida Prabodhuka Jalabdi Magnam Kripa Dristi Vistyati Dinam Hatanu Grihani Shrami Mam Agyam Ekya Edyaksi Drishya
Namo Deva Damodarastakam
No
Vishno
Vishnu Prasida
Prasida
Prabhu
Prabodhukya Jalipti Magnam
Kripa
Kripadristi Vrisyati Dinam Patanu Ganesha Mamanam Dadiyakti Drishya. It's unmuted.
Atmajo Bada Mutyaiva Yadvad Vaya Mochito Bhakti Pajokito Cha Tata Prema Bhaktim Swakam Me Prayacha Namokshe Grahome Tudamodareha
Rubela Majo Bada Svartvaya Yadva Vaya Mochito Bhakti Pajokita
Tata
Prema
Prema
Bhakti
Bhakti
Savakam Me
Savarajaya
Prayacha Namo
Namo
Grahome
Grahome
Sri Damodareha.
Namaste Studamne Spora Dipti Damne Tvadiyo Dharayata Vishvasya Damne Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Dantalilaya Devaya Tubhyam
Namaste Sudamne Swaradipti Damne Navratyata Haryata Vishvaya Damne Namo Radhikaya Vaidya Prayaya Namo Nanda Lilaya Devaya Tubhyam.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
All right, Hare Krishna. All right, you don't have that picture?
No.
Thank you, Maharaja.
Go to the translation. Next section. Yeah. All right. Each of you can take a term if you like to read the translation. There's eight slokas. Linda, would you like to read the first one?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Number 1. To the Supreme Lord, whose form is the embodiment of eternal existence, knowledge and bliss, whose shark-shaped earrings are swinging to and fro, who is beautifully shining in the divine realm of Kula, who, due to the offence of breaking the pot of yogurt that his mother was churning into butter and then stealing the butter that was kept hanging from a swing, is quickly running from the wooden grinding mortar in fear of Mother Yasoda, but who has been caught from behind by her who ran after him with greater speed. To the Supreme Lord, Sri Damodara, I offer my humble obeisances.
Yeah, so this is telling the story And when Krishna broke the butter pots, the yogurt pots, he and his friends and the monkeys were very mischievous. And they would, as a young boy, he would go and steal butter and yogurt from the pots hanging in the rooms of the gopis. And they would get very, very angry at Krishna for doing that, because it takes a lot of work to churn that butter, the milk into butter and to make yogurt. Anyhow, so they would go to Mother Yashoda and tell her, look, Krishna is such a bad boy. He comes always to our house and breaks the butter pots, and he breaks the butter hanging in the pots and the yogurt, and eats it and then feeds it to the monkeys. And we're working so hard to do these things, and yet he's coming and doing like that. So Mother Yashoda would, in order to, make sure her son was growing up properly, she would go and chastise Krishna. Anyhow, one day he was so naughty, and she was very angry at him. She wanted to give him a good beating, and so she ran after him, and he was running faster than her, and she was chasing him, and then she finally caught him, and she tried to tie him to the mortar, grinding mortar, very heavy mortar, and when she tried to tie him to that mortar, she had this rope, and it was always 2 fingers short of the 2 fingers short, so she couldn't tie the knot in it properly. Finally, she was trying with all her might, perspiring, and her clothes were coming loose, and Krishna became sorry for her, seeing her in such condition. He said, okay, Mother, I'll let you bind me, and he let her bind Krishna around the waist so that he could not run around. Anyhow, that pastime is called Damodar. Damodar means to tie around the waist, tie the rope around the waist of Krishna. It's a very significant pastime because, of course, God is infinite. Krishna is infinite. There's no rope long enough. There's no rope infinite enough to tie the infinite. Right? But anyhow, that was the meaning of the story, that she couldn't tie it. And finally, the fact that he allowed her to tie it means that by his grace only, Krishna can be bound by her love, by the love of his devotee. She was able to bind him because of her love. That's the pastime of Damodar, Mother Yashoda and Damodar. So this first verse is about that. And the second verse, Mike Prabhu, is that your name?
Yes, Michael Prabhu.
Okay,
Thank you, Prabhu.
read the second one.
Sure thing. 2. Seeing the whipping stick in his mother's hand, he is crying and rubbing his eyes again and again with the 2 lotus hands. His eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with 3 lines of like a conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To this Supreme Lord Sri Damodara, whose belly is bound not with ropes, but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances.
Okay, thank you. And Ayanandaji, would you like to read number 3?
Yes, Maharaj. 3. By such childhood pastime as his drowning, the inhabitants of Gokula in pools of ecstasy, and is revealing to those devotees who are absorbed in knowledge of his supreme majesty and opulence that he is only conquered by devotees was poor lost in books with intimacy, and is free from all conception of all and reverence. We great Lord, it again offer my obeisances to Lord Damodara hundreds and hundreds of times.
Okay, thank you. And is there anyone else there?
Yes, I can read it too.
Okay, so see, yes, please. Number 4.
Okay. O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon which may be obtained by executing the 9 processes of bhakti. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Bala Gopala in Vrindavana may ever be manifest in my heart, for what is the use of me of any other boon besides this?
Yes, very good. Thank you.
Okay.
And would Ananditi or Bhagavati, can they read English?
Yes, Maharaj. Yes. Anindita.
Okay, number 5.
O Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by looks of soft black, high-tinged with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yasoda, and your lips are reddish like the bimba fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and the thousands of other benedictions are of no use to me.
Okay.
Yeah, Bhagavad.
Very good. Are you going to paint that picture?
Bhagavati. Yeah.
Bhagavati, want to read?
Yes, yes, Maharaj. Sí, sí. El 6. Seguro.
O Supreme of Head, and offer my obedience unto you. O Damodara, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master, O my Lord, be pleasing open me. By somewhere in your glaze of mercy open me. Deliver this poor ignorant fool who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrow, and become visible to my eyes.
Wow. Very nice. And anyone else? Priyadarshini?
Priyadarshini, yes. Ocho.
O Lord Damodara, I feast of hand offer my obeisances.
Siete.
No, las 7,
Excuse me.
Excuse me, Maharaj.
Excuse me. 7, no 7. O Lord Damodara, use as the 2 sons of Kubera, Manigriva and Narakubara, were delivered from the curse of Narada and made into great devotees by you in your form as a baby, yet with rope to a wooden breathing mortal in the same way. Please give to me. You are our own Prema Bhakti, and I only long for this and have no desire for any kind of liberation.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I won't ask Priyatama because I know she get too old now. Oh, you're here. Dandavats, Pragiditi.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandat Pranam at your lotus feet. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam.
Dandavats. Would you like to read number 8?
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you. O Lord Damodar, I first of all offer my obeisances to the brilliantly effulgent rope which binds your belly. I then offer my obeisances to your belly, which is the abode of the entire universe. I humbly bow down to your most beloved Srimati Radharani, and I offer all obeisances to you, the Supreme Lord, who displays unlimited pastimes.
Right, thank you, Didi.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Krishna Kesava, would you like to read the remarks?
Okay. This song was originally spoken by Satyavrata Muni in conversation with Narada Muni and Sanaka Rishi. This song is sung during the month of Kartik, also known as the month of Damodar. As quoted in the Sri Hari Bhakti Vilas, quote, in the month of Kartik, one should worship Lord Damodar and daily recite the prayer known as Damodarastakam, which has been spoken by the sage Satyavrata and which attracts Lord Damodar. End quote. From Sri Hari Bhakti Vilas 2.16.198. This is usually sung in Ragasvari, in Lofa or Bengali Ektal, or by Ravi in Kerava or Bhajanital. That's for the kirtan.
Okay, let me see. You know that, what is that? Sanatana Goswami purport?
This is a purport to the Damodarastakam.
Did you read it?
No, I didn't know
Want to
this was.
click on it?
Yeah.
So he's giving a commentary. Sanatana Goswami is giving his commentary on the Damodarastakam. I have not read this before myself. Would you like to read that? Shall we read this together? It says, bowing before Sri Damodar Ishwar was accompanied by Sri Radha. I now commence my purport of Damodarastakam entitled Digdarshini. In the beginning of the Mool Shloka, the very first intention is expressed by the words Damami, I bow down. Obeisances are thus offered with love and devotion before commencing the description of the Lord's specific characteristics of excellence that are exhibited by its tattva, rupa, lila, guna, and so forth. Also mentioned is the essence of his own divine supremacy as a supreme personality of Godhead manifest in Gokul, and also his distinctive features as the origin of all. Furthermore, the word Namami is indicative of an auspicious invocation, Mangalartham. At the start of all functions, it is customary to offer respects to Ishwar, which expresses an attitude of devotional service unto the Lord. For this reason, obeisances are offered first unto the Lord in this verse. Now, Srila Goswami examines the Tattva or excellence of the Lord's good. Obeisances unto whom? Unto Ishwar, the supreme controller, namely he who is Sarva Shaktimanta, endowed with all potencies, Jagatekanatha, the only Lord of the universe, and Nija Prabhu, my own master. In the first instance, he is addressed as such in order to obtain the power of Shakti needed to offer the prayer. In the second instance, he's addressed as such to indicate that he is the one and only Lord who is praiseworthy, and in the final instance is addressed as such to signify the specific nature of bhakti or devotion. How is he manifest? As sat-cit-ananda rupam, or a form composed of compressed clouds of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. This is the statement of a supreme sovereignty in regards to his tattva-based attribute or excellence of truth. Now, Rupa Vishes, the excellence of his beauty is described. His distinct excellence of beauty is illustrated as follows. Lasanti, the swinging of his earring, was manifested when he ran away in fear of Sri Yasoda, or also his earring sport upon his cheeks as a result of a continuously playing in the transcendental pastimes of childhood. Thus his divinely splendorous face is especially portrayed. Or also, yet another meaning of Lasat Kundalam is due to the Mahasavogya, a great fortune of personally kissing his divine cheeks. These earrings have attained a position of super excellence above all his other ornaments. And this super excellence also indicates the fortune of the other ornaments adorning his various limbs. Furthermore, Lasanti indicates these earrings are glistening because they are enriched with the splendorous effulgence of the Lord's bodily complexion. Therefore, Krishna's body is the ornament of his ornaments. This is the meaning. Consequently, it is stated by the Gopis in the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam. O Sri Krishna, by singing your beauty, which attracts the three worlds, these cows, birds, trees, and deer all experience their hair standing on end. What is the wonder then if we are also bewildered? In the 3rd canto, Bhagavatam 3-12, is also stated by Sri Uddhava to Vidura regarding Sri Krishna's beauty. Sri Krishna's beauty is so enchanting that it even astonishes himself. That beauty represents the supreme zenith of great opulence, and so much so that he is actually the ornament of his ornaments. Now the Paravishesh, or Parivari Vishesh, are attributes of his family, portray his unique excellence. The word Gokule indicates that place where gopas, gopis, cows, calves, and so forth reside. The word Brajamam indicates a particularly befitting place, wherein he can manifest an excellence that surpasses that of previous Leelas. Moreover, he is splendorous, because only in Gokula does he manifest his Svabhavika Soba, or most natural characteristics of brilliance. It is stated in the 10th canto, Bhagavatam 10:30-14, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, who sits upon the asana formed with the lotus-like hearts of the Siddha, manifests in body that is the abode of all the splendor of the three worlds. He sat upon the asana presented by the gopis, was worshipped by them, and thereby radiated even more splendor. His excellence of Lila Vishesh, or attributes of his pastimes, are stated in the last two lines of this verse. The word Yashoda indicates Yashodaya, or from his bloody Yashoda. Piya indicates the fear of being punished for his offense of breaking the yogurt pots, stealing fresh butter, and so forth. Ulukalat denotes from the mortar. In order to steal the fresh butter suspended from the rafters, he took a large wood grinding mortar that was kept in the same storeroom, turned it on end, and climbed up on it. But spotting his mother coming into the room with a stick in her hand, he speedily runs away. In this regard, if one desires to know particulars of this pastime, it can be found in the 10th canto Bhagavatam 10:9-9 thus. Then Sri Krishna turned the grinding mortar on end, climbed up on it, and began distributing the fresh butter hanging from the rafters to the monkeys as freely as he liked. Due to knowledge of his own mischievous thievery, his eyes fearfully darted this way and that. Mother Yashoda saw him doing this and slowly crept up from behind to catch him. But he noticed her coming with a stick in her hand and quickly got down from the mortar and started running away, just like a person stricken with fear. Even though highly advanced yogis are enabled by the strength of their penances to merge their minds. What are you doing? With Brahma, still they cannot get a glimpse of this scene of Yashoda Devi chasing her son Krishna from behind while attempting to catch him. Then Tato Drutya, she ran very swiftly. To the samasa conjunction, these two words become one. Kopya by Sri Yashoda, Paramristam catching hold of his back. Here the words Atyanta, Tato Drutya, running behind Krishna very swiftly, imply the Sundarya Vishesh, excellence of beauty of Yashoda's full breasts, of broad hips, and so on, as well as the particulars of her affection for her son. The loving use of the word Gopya connotes the grand fortune that came upon the Gopa caste, by Krishna referring to appear among them. By the word Paramastam, but by his back, unique attribute of super excellent affection that Bhagavan Sri Krishna feels for Yashoda Bhatta. Shreya Vishesh has intimated. In this regard also, one may search out the following verse from the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, 10:9-10. While chasing after Krishna, the slim-waisted Yashoda's broad hips caused her pace to slow down, From running quickly, the flowers had come loose from her hair and were falling after her, but she still continued to pursue him. In this fashion, after chasing and chasing him, she finally caught him from behind. Thus ends the Sanatana Goswami's Dig-Darsh-Tika on the first sloka of Sri Damodara-masa. Have you read that before, Ariananda Prabhu?
Yes, Maharaj?
Have you read that before? That Dig-Darsh-Tika? No.
No, Maharaj. This test, no, Maharaj. I no remember.
I don't know where this appears, what book it appears in. Perhaps in the Hare Krishna songbook. Where's that from?
No, this is
What does it say?
kksongs.org.
Oh, it's on the internet.
He says it comes from the
Okay, wait.
or Bhakti Vilas or something.
All right. Would you like to read the next chapter here?
Next section. Verse 2. After this, Krishna's Leela Vishesha, the excellence of pastimes, is mentioned as confirmed in Bhagavatam 10.9.11. Thus, Mata Yashoda saw that the mischievous child then cried and cried while rubbing his eyes with his hands, thereby smearing the dark eye lining cosmetics from them. Krishna saw the stick in her hands, and his eyes became overwhelmed with fright. In this condition, Yashoda seized his hand and proceeded to chastise him in order to instill fear in him. The details of this pastime are now spoken of in the second verse, beginning with Rudantam. Seeing the whipping stick in his mother's hand and apprehending being struck with it, he behaved as if terrified, so that she would see his distress and think he is afraid of being punished. He hoped that by her seeing this attitude of his, she would not hit him with the stick. Thinking in this way that he would be spared punishment, therefore, Karamboja Yugmena Netra Yugmam Rajantam. He rubbed both eyes again and again with both of his lotus-like hands at the same time. This is a natural characteristic of Balya Lila, and indeed the normal habit of small children. Or else, Karamboja Yugmena Netra Yugmam Rajantam may also indicate that by the influence of his fright, many tears were actually forming in his eyes. Therefore, he rubbed them again and again in order to make the tears fall out. Or furthermore, he rubbed his eyes again and again in order to wipe away the tears that were falling again and again. This is yet another meaning. Now, Satanka Netra, dreading his mother's punishment, his eyes expressed how much he was terrified in his mind. Or else it refers to his glancing this way and that in extreme fear. In this regard also, he tries to avoid being punished. Thus another confidential pastime is disclosed. Moreover, Muhu Svasena, due to his crying and sobbing again and again, Kampat, trembling, Trikekakanka, marked with 3 lines just like a conch shell, Kante Stitam Graivam, all his neck ornaments like pearl necklaces and so forth, he who appears this way. Damodar, whose belly is tied with a rope. He is described thus in Bhagavatam 10.9.14. Just as an ordinary mother binds her naughty son, Yashoda Mata considered Sri Krishna to be her own ordinary child and tied him to the grinding mortar with a rope. In stating that knots were tied on the rope, both to his belly and to the mortar, this indicates the particulars of Sri Krishna's excellence called Bhakta Vasyata, or his quality of coming under the control of his devotees. Bhaktyaiva Badam, this refers to he who responds only to bhakti in the following 2 ways. From his mother's viewpoint, he is bound by the loving parental devotion she feels for her son. From his viewpoint, he is bound by his mother's devotion in the form of Bhakta Vasyata. Badam, He willingly accepted the binding, although no rope had the power to bind him. Thus, Mother Yashoda eventually collected all the ropes in her household, but upon tying them together, the length still came out 2 fingers too short to fit around his waist. This is described in the following shlokas from the Bhagavatam 10.9.15 through 17. While tying up the naughty child, the rope came out 2 fingers short, so Yashoda Mata tied another length to it. This rope also came out 2 fingers short, so she tied yet another length to that one. But no matter how many ropes she added, it always ended up too short. Thus she was unable to bind him, even by combining all the ropes in the house. Then her gopi friends began to smile, and she herself also smiled and laughed in astonishment. Furthermore, the reason for this characteristic of the rope around his waist is Bhaktiyaiva Badam. He can be bound only by devotion and nothing else. By this he becomes controlled. Such is certainly the conclusion of the aforementioned description. In this connection, it is further stated in Bhagavatam 10.9.18 through 21, while attempting to bind Krishna, Yashoda became fatigued from tying so many ropes together again and again, and she perspired as the flower garlands in her hair fell loose. Then the young child, Sri Krishna, saw her weariness and mercifully consented to being tied up. O Maharaja Parikshit, although he controls the entire universe along with its highly qualified demigods, the supreme independent Hari thus displayed how he comes under the control of his devotees. Therefore, this Gopi Yashoda Mata received such a great benediction from he who awards liberation, a favor not granted to Lord Brahma, Maheshwara, or even Lakshmi Devi herself, who sports as half the body of all the Lord's incarnations. Bhagavan Gopika Sutta, the Supreme Lord appearing as the son of a cowherd woman, is thus readily available for his devotees, yet remains far away from those absorbed in the bodily concept of the eightfold yoga practices, as well as those focusing on visions of the self through intellectual pursuits. In other words, the tapasvis and the jnanis embark on a very difficult path of spiritual searching, but being completely unable to attain Bhagavan, at best can end up realizing only a minute fraction of Lord Krishna's true glory. These verses from Bhagavatam indicate direct proof of all such conclusions. Elsewhere in Bhagavatam, it is stated, 10.10.25, because Devarshi Narada is my dear devotee, and because these 2 boys are the sons of my devotee, Kuver, I will deliver them in order to fulfill the words previously spoken by Mahatma Narada. The purport of these words spoken by Sri Krishna is that he totally depends on the devotion of Sri Narada, being pleased with Narada's bhakti. Krishna therefore dragged the grinding mortar and broke down the 2 trees in which the cursed brothers stood. This is why the Lord performs these and indeed all other pastimes, because of the devotion of his devotees. Thus ends Sanatana Goswami's Dig-darshana on the 2nd shloka of Sri Damodarastakam.
Right? Very nice. Linda, would you like to read some more?
Yes, I can read some more, Maharaj.
Okay,
Want me to do verse 3?
verse 3, yes.
Now, the excellences of his Guru Vishseva, attributes of his qualities, are expressed in this verse beginning with the word iti. It depicts the reason for his coming under the sway of his devotees. And furthermore, iti means by this Damodara-lila. It also connotes, oh my gosh, that's true. Idrisipis Sa, by all Krishna's supremely enchanting childhood pastimes like the Damodara-lila. The word Shivasha indicates his own uncommonly divine pastimes, lila here. By all his sportive pastimes, he drowns all of the living beings of Gokula in ecstasy. This is confirmed by many statements of the Bhagavatam, such as the following: 10:11 verse 7 to 8. If you dance, then we will give you a sweet. By these words, or by clapping their hands, the elder gopis sometimes induce Krishna to dance. Thus, Bhagavatam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, danced just like an ordinary child. Sometimes they made him sing, and he therefore sung just like a bewildered innocent boy. In this way, he came under the control of the cowherd women, exactly like a wooden puppet on strings. Sometimes his relatives would order him to bring their shoes, chair, or measuring pot, but if he was unable to lift the article called for, he would grasp it firmly and, just to please his dear relatives, flap his elbows again and again to demonstrate his childish strength. On the basis of these conclusions of the Bhagavatam, it is further stated, Sri Grosham means all the living beings dwelling in Gokula. Ananda Kunde Nima Jatam, he has immersed them in the deep pool brimming with liquid bliss mellows. Ananda Rasa Maya Kabhira Jala. Therefore, it is declared in the Bhagavatam, verse quoted above, Shranam Pritam Samudavahan. By these actions, he stimulated the complete love of his own dearmost relatives, Priti, and furthermore, the word Gosha additionally means the loud proclamation of his glories. Similarly, the word Shva also connotes another Shvasa or Shvadnam, is proclaimed by these pastimes. In this mood, he personally drowned them all in the pools of bliss, Ananda Kunde Nima Jatam, and they experienced the very special excellence of supreme happiness, Paramashuka. And furthermore, it is especially noted that Tadiyesita Nesu, unto those who are attached to knowledge of the Lord's majestic opulence, Ashvara, and who worship him accordingly, he declares Bhakter Jivatam. Only in front of his own pure devotees does he become totally submissive, being conquered by their loving devotion. Higher Payatam, he has fully displaced loving this quality for all to see. The meaning is, I willingly become submissive to the control of my servants who are attached to Bhakti, but I will never submit myself to those fond of jnana. This is confirmed in the Bhagavatam 10.11.9. Thus, Bhagavatam Sri Krishna has proclaimed to the Bhaktas that the universe who are fond of Aishvara Jnana, that he is fully submissive only to his own pure devotees. The meaning of this Bhagavatam verse is the word Tadvidam, indicates devotees who are attached to Bhagavad Ashvara Jnana. Or yet another meaning is Tadiyanam suggests that he displays this quality of submission to his devotees only in front of those who are already aware of the prabhava or power of his most dear favourite devotees. He does not exhibit this feature to others. The reason for such behaviour is those who are unaware of the special glories of the Vaishnavas and those who cultivate Kavala Jnana, impersonal knowledge, are unqualified to be presented with a display of the supremely confidential truth regarding devotion and the glories of devotion. In this, it's hard to read it when it moves. In this mood, a further meaning of Tadvidam from the Bhagavatam verse 10.11.9 quoted above is this word reveals Prashata Vidam, or those who are unaware of Sri Krishna's quality of submitting to his devotees. Now, in Damodarastakam, the word primata denotes with an excellence of love and devotion. Satavritti means hundreds and hundreds of times. Tam, unto that Ishvara, Punavande, I repeatedly offer my respectful obeisances. Therefore, the only thing worshipful for me is to offer my obeisances unto the super excellence of the process of bhakti, which brings the Supreme Lord under the control of his devotees. Such a condition can never come about through Ashvara Jnana, or knowledge of his divine majesty. This alone is the mood of the devotee, offering this specific prayer. Thus ends Sanatana Goswami's Dig-Dasini Tika on the third shloka of Shri Damodarastakam.
Oh, very nice. Thank you. You also learned some Sanskrit.
That was a challenge.
Very good.
Mm,
Let's
very
see. Mike, are you feeling confident about reading this?
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
Verse 4. In this way, continuing the description of the Lord's particular excellences, the prayer progresses with a request that mentions one's cherished desires. This is presented in 2 verses, 4 and 5. Starting with the word Varam. The word Deva means O Supremely Effulgent One, or it also implies O Lord engaged in super excellent sweet sports. The word Iha means here in Vrindavana, Varishad, from you, who can bestow any benediction, Varam Navrane. I do not seek any boon. Specifically, I do not pray for moksha. The 4th Purushartha, our goal of human life, to achieve freedom from material contact by merging into the Brahman effulgence. Nor do I pray for mokshaya, avidim, the highest supreme zenith of liberation in the form of eternally living in Sri Vaikuntha Loka, where the excellence of life is the nature of thickly condensed happiness. Nor do I pray for anyansha, other things such as the 9 methods of devotional service headed by Shravana, hearing, chanting, etc. I do not desire to me, and additionally, even if others consider such things to be very appealing, Iha, here in Vrindavana, I do not have the slightest desire for them. The word Iha can also be used in relation to the statements of the rest of the verse. It is naturally understood that the 3 benedictions refer to moksha, liberation, moksha devahi, the highest zenith of liberation, and anya, other things. All reflect an ascending level of superiority, each being greater than the last. In this regard, the superiority of Vaikuntha to impersonal liberation is clearly described in my Srila Sanatana Goswami's Brihad Bhaka Tamta, Gavata Tramta, Uttarakanda 1:14-15, and the superiority of the 9 processes of devotion headed by Sravana to Vaikuntha Loka as described in the Bhagavatam 3:15-49 thus. Should I keep going?
Yes, if you like.
Okay. The 4 Kumaras headed by Sanat, after cursing the disrespectful devotees named Jaya and Vijaya, said Lord Vishnu who had just appeared, O Lord, we pray that you let us be born in any hellish condition of life, as long as our ears are always filled with the chanting of your transcendental qualities. By these words, it becomes evident that the 9 processes of devotion beginning with Shravana can be perfected even while living in hell, wherever one is, in whatever condition of life. One thereby experiences the perfection of living in the eternal abode of Vaikuntha. This being the case, then what boon does one weigh from the Lord? The answer is given in the 4th verse of Damodarastakam. He natha, iha idam te vapur gopala balam. O Lord, this form of yours as a cowherd child of Vrindavana, Shadame Manashi Avriyastam, may such a form ever be manifest in my mind, since he is Antaryami, situated as the indwelling supersoul. He may be seen manifesting the divine beauty of his every limb within one's heart, just as clearly as one directly with the eyes. Still, even if Krishna were to personally address the devotee and offer, "Oh hey," the above-mentioned 3 kinds of boons beginning with moksha are not ordinary. They are most desirous, and anyone would immediately accept them. Would you accept them? The answer is here given herein, Kim Anyai. What's the use of all these things? They have no value to me. This is the meaning. The reason behind this attitude is Sri Krishna is composed of all the bliss in the universe. So if he is attained, then everything else is automatically and perfectly attained. But if one cannot attain Krishna, then the imperfection perceived in the absence of the desired goal especially creates a grand distaste and lamentable misery at the mere thought of attaining something of a lesser value. Therefore, it is said here that the other boons are useless. Kim anyai. What good are they? This is the mood. Should I keep going?
Yes, you can go on.
Okay. Or else the words Kim anyai show in it another meaning. Again, the Lord may ask, even though you do not pray for the boons beginning with Maksham, would you care for the boon of directly seeing and conversing with my supremely worshipful, four-armed form of Sri Narayana or the other Asvaraya Maya Murtis? The answer remains the same. Kim anyai. Other boons are useless to me, and the intention behind this is, if your divine form of a cowherd child, which is the crest jewel of all splendors, would always be manifest in my heart, then I would feel very, very pleased. Nothing short of that would satisfy me. This is the mood. For further details regarding the glories of Anti-Darshana, seeing the Lord within the heart, please see Brahad-Bhagavatamrta, Uttarakanda 286 through 96. Therein the sage of Sri Pipalayana on the planet Tapaloka has been explained in all these principles very elaborately. Now the Damodarastakam prayer offered by Satyavrata Muni similarly demonstrates that the longing for inner darshana is the best goal of all. From this prayer, all these things can be clearly understood. Thus ends Sanatana Goswami's Digdarshani Tika of the fourth shloka of Sri Damodarastakam.
Okay, very nice. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
By the way, there's this one book that's mentioned here. Go back.
Maharaj, can I ask what a boon is, please? A B-O-O-N.
Huh?
What is a
A
boon?
boon.
A boon.
Hmm.
A wish, granting a wish
Okay,
or
thank
a
you.
blessing or like if you want to, they're saying if you want liberation, I can give you that. That boon of liberation I can give to you. Or if you want me, I can give you that also. So devotee doesn't wish any other boon. He doesn't want to become rich. He doesn't want to become famous. He doesn't want to become powerful. He only wants to see his Lord in his mind always.
Blessing.
But I wanted to mention this one book, which you could not pronounce properly. It's called Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Bhagavatamrita. Here's the word Amrita, it's at the end, and Bhagavat, Bhagavat Amrita. This is a very famous book by Sanatana Goswami. And this book is very important because when Sridhara was speaking with Prabhupada one time about constructing the planetarium, he told him that this book, the Srimad Bhagavatamrita rather, contains the whole description of the journey from the Lord to the higher platforms. And that if you can make a planetarium that shows this gradation of bhakti, that'll be very nice for the public to see in a visual form what the Bhagavatam and what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is preaching about the evolution of consciousness. So it's a very nice book, Srimad Bhagavatamrita. Srimad Bhagavatamrita. Okay. Well, thank you all very much. I made you all work very hard today. Hare Krishna, you're very kind. It's good. This is a good sacrifice. Doing Kartik, good service.
Good service to you. Yes.
Yes, you'll get much benefit. Blessings of Krishna. Hopefully develop your love for Krishna more intensely. And so it's all very nice, great opportunity for us all. And thank you for participating. Any other questions you might have?
No, not for me. Thank you.
Very nice. Yes, very nice having you, Dr. Mike and Dr. Shrusty. Very nice having you with us. We appreciate your association. Pragiditi, how are you doing?
Good, Maharaj. Thank you.
Okay.
Accept my obeisances.
Hare
Thank you for the class. It was good reading.
All right. All right. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Chaitanya, Srila Santa Maharaj ki jai. Jai Kartik Mas ki jai. Jai Damodara-masa ki jai. Jai Giri Govardhan ki jai. Jai Go Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo. Of course, the assembled devotees.
Hare
Of course, to the worldwide devotees. Jai Go Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo.
Hari Bol.
Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaja ki jai.
Jai.
Happy, be healthy. My love to you all. Bye.
Bye.
Jai Maharaj. Thank you.
Thank you.